Hello there and welcome to Clay Disarray, a calm, creative corner of YouTube. This week I'm going to be showing you how to make some really cute little critters, all with a Valentine theme, so let's get started. So I'm going to start with my chinchilla, and unusually I'm using Sculpey this week, so I've got some bluestone here. And I just need to make that into a little kind of oval shape like so, although you can obviously make yours into whatever shape you fancy. So I'll start with a little pink nose, and I can use that as a guide to where I can place my little eye sockets just with my medium-sized ball tool, and I do have a list of the tools that I use down in description. So onto the eyeballs, and I'm sometimes asked how to ensure that your balls of clay are indeed circle or circular, and I'd recommend not pressing too firmly actually, because you'll end up with a really kind of odd shape. So keep your finger nice and light, and that should help you. So now I can pop in my eyeballs. And I'll flatten those down with my fingers before going over with a wet wipe, just to ensure that they're nice and clean really. And in terms of pupils, I've got my little assistant Grover here to show you how I like to place mine really. It's actually kind of cross-eyed, so I'm going to try and emulate that here with my chinchilla. So there we go. So I need to make my chinchilla some ears, so I've got a little dot of the blue clay here, and I'll press in with my large shaped ball tool, and then I'll add in a little flat piece of pink clay, because it's a nice contrast really, isn't it? So I'll just push that into place with my ball tool. And I need to cut it in half, so I'm just looking where the best place to cut is, so that seems to be it. And now I just need to curve my ear ever so slightly, and now I can place them onto the chinchilla, and I just need to ensure that they're placed on really firmly, and particularly with Sculpey clay actually, it doesn't like to stick as well as Vimo. And as Valentine's Day will soon be upon us, I'm going to give him a little red heart to hold. So I'll just pop that on. And obviously I'm making these super simple because I want them to be easy to follow really. But you can of course go for more detailed characters if you fancy. So I'll just pop on some basic arms like so, and I'll press those in at the side with my wet wipe, but you don't need to do this actually, it's whatever aesthetic that you're going for really. And I'll give him a couple of really simple feet and just place those on. And he'll need a tail, so I'm just cutting out an eye shape like so. And I'll cut in just to give it a little bit more detail really, and curve it around with my fingers, and I'll cut just at an angle because that will allow the tail to be situated a little easier onto his body. And again I'll go in with my wet wipe to really try and pull those pieces together. And lastly, I'm going to give him a couple of pink cheeks, and there we go. So moving on to my frog, I've got some pistachio clay here, which is a really vibrant colour. So I've got a very similar shape to the chinchilla, and I just need to cut out a little circular piece and cut at an angle like so, and place onto the body, and this is going to act as his mouth. So I'm just really trying to pull that clay together again, just with my ball tool and then a wet wipe. And now I can pop in some eye sockets just over the mouth, and again I'll pop in some eyeballs and some pupils, again with the same kind of placement really. And I'll give him a heart as well, but again you can, you know, give him a star or whatever you fancy really. So for his feet, there's an easy hack for this. So I'm just using a 6-pointed star, and if I cut down the centre, it creates a little foot. And I'll give him just some really easy hands again. And pull that in with a wet wipe. And I think he needs something else, so I'm going to give him a little flower in this really lovely teal clay. And lastly, I'll give him a couple of pink cheeks again. And there we go, my little frog's all done. And finally onto my bunny, and I've got some really lovely pesto clay here. So I just need to again make a very simple shape like so. And I'm going to mix a tiny piece with some white clay to use just in a second after I add some teeny tiny teeth. So I basically need to add 2 tiny circles over like so. And I'll give him a little pink nose again, before adding some eye sockets as before, and some eyeballs, and again some pupils. So I want to create some bunny ears, so it's really easy. We'll just cut out some shapes like so. And I'll cut just at an angle, really because it just allows the element to go onto the body a little better. And again some pink cheeks. And I'm doing the same as before. I've given him a little heart and some arms. And some teeny feet. And of course my little bunny needs a little bunny tail. So now my critters are all ready to bake. And at this point you'll need to refer to your own brand of Polymer Clay's baking instructions. And here they are, all done. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'd love to see yours if you make some too. Give it a like if you got this far, and I'll see you again soon.